Hey, Lynn. All right, man. Wanted to shoot you a video real quick and tell you that I got your box all trimmed out and stuff. I'm waiting on a couple of little other things. I ran out of good 10 gauge wire, so I got some ordered. I think it'll be here Monday. And then I ordered another resistor, a 470 ohm 5-watt resistor. I had to put two of them in there. I'll send you a video on it here in a minute and show you what it's doing and everything. But all I got to do is button it up, so I'll have it ready next week for sure. But I have been out here this morning tearing my car apart, as you can probably see. Parts scattered everywhere. This thing, over the past couple of days, it got to smelling. I mean, it was smelling bad, and I couldn't stand it anymore. So I had to find it. So I basically had to tear out the third row seat and the side panel here. And of course, I found a mouse nest, rat's nest in there, where they had decided to make a home in my car. And apparently mama skedaddled, and there was babies in the nest that were no longer with us. So look at that. I had to tear all this crap out. I've been out here all morning because I drove this. I didn't get home last night until about 11:30. I think it was about 11:30, and then I worked until about 2 this morning after I got home, and with some guys doing a bunch of testing. And so I got up this morning and started tearing this thing apart, and I said, I cannot stand it anymore. But right here was where the little critters were. Whew, man, it was rough. So I'm glad I got them out of there, and I'm about to see. You can see where they had a little nest in there. But man, it took me 2 hours, I guess, to tear all this crap out and take the seat out and all that mess. So now I got to get it back together. But anyway, I'll send you a video here in a minute of the amp. I'm going to attach it on here. All right, let's see here. So getting everything put back together, got it all marked out, got most of the right values of stuff in there in this little box. I'm still waiting on a 470 ohm 5-watt. I think that'd be here Monday is what it said. I had to put a couple in series, and the way this thing is so small, you ain't got a lot of room in there. So I want to get one of the right value in there instead of having to kind of, put a couple in there. But anyway, what else did we do? These little leads on the back. Replaced this one with a piece of, what was it, RG316 down to the board. It just had a little thin wire and a little thin, like a resistor lead type ground wire. And those things are bad to break. So these are, flexible. They're a little thicker gauge and all that. And then I just put this other PTFE wire in the back. I've just seen so many of them break right there where they're soldered on, just because they're really solid, and the case flexes and all that. And if you run one in the mobile anyway. Anyhow, this little capacitor right here was way out of spec. I kept having weird tuning issues and things, and that's right on the input. So I had high SWR and things like that, and weird power readings, and couldn't figure it out. And pulled that little guy. Let's see, that was this one right here that I've got on the tester right now, which it says it's a 0.001 microfarad, 1.4 kilovolt. And so when I test it, it says it's 751 picofarads, and that'll change just a little bit as it charges and all. So 750 picofarads, and this is way out of tolerance anyway. So I went ahead and replaced that with another 0.001 kilovolt cap coming in. Showed you that on the input pad, that's the input attenuator. I need to go a little higher. This is actually still a little bit of a low value, but also on the input transformer, I put a big 1,000. Wait a minute, that's probably 150 puff or something right around in there. Let me see. Yeah, 150,000 volt, and probably what was in place there. That was another trying to get the tuning right on it. Let me see what I had in there. I think it was this one right here. Nope, that's one I put in it. Oh well, anyway, this one wound up, here it is, it had a 230 in it right there, that guy right there. Ain't nothing wrong with this one, but I just had to tweak it a little bit to get the tune right on it. And then on the input, there was a 330 there. It's laying around here somewhere. I needed to change that one to 1,000. So this 1,000 was on the output. I just moved it to the input. Reused it right there. It's plenty high voltage for the input side of this transistor. Oh, and you can see the new transistor in there. Let me get some light over here. If I can get around my right there. So there's a new transistor, the HG2SC2879C. And then you can see here on the output where, where's my pointer? There it is. This was on the output, so I put the same value, but I put a metal clad on it, so that's a really, really high voltage deal right there. And so, you know, for the tuning capacitor on the output transformer on that side right there. And then the one other thing I had to change was there's a capacitor on the output to ground. That is, get the camera over here. Let's see, that little guy right there. So I went with 110 right there is what was working best. And let's see, it had a really small value, and it was like 150. Here it is. This little guy right here. So that was another 150 puff, but it was a lot smaller rating anyway. So anyhow, let me get it hooked up and get some of this other stuff out of the way. Man, it's a mess in here. Don't judge. You know how it is when you get to working on something, you get stuff scattered out everywhere. Look at this. Look at this crap, man. Look at this mess. We got to clean her up. But anyhow, we're getting to the end of it. So let me turn this guy around. Put that down for a minute. Get some power hooked up over here. And it's going to be sideways here for just a minute. All right. So we'll start out. We got to put our amp on. Well, let's turn it off. Let me see what we're doing here. What are we hitting this baby with? This is 20 watt scale. Bottom scale is like 4 watts. And low. About 20 watt swing. That's probably about the average on a Cobra 19 or something like that. This little radio is a striker. It's pretty hot with modulation, but still at 4 watts. That's about where it's at. And let's look at our SWR with 4 watts over here. We're 1.0. Of course, we're on this Ameritron dummy load, so we don't have no real antenna hooked up to it right now. But anyhow, that's where that is. So let's turn it on and turn it on low, and let's look and see what is our dead key there. Yeah, that input attenuator is why I need to go bigger there, but that actually cuts the dead key back. It's about 2 watts. Low. Oh, yeah, we need to go up to the 200 next scale up. So back her up here a little bit. Alright, so the next scale up, the 200. Low. Audio. That's not bad. About 60 watts. Oh, and let's look at the through tune on it. Right here is still a 1.0, and that's what we wanted to see. So anyway, let's put her on high. Let's see what we get out of her right here. It's on high, still on 200 watt scale. I'm keying about 30 watts. Audio. Hello, radio. Audio. Getting close to about 110 to 120 right there. And let's give her a good whistle and see how far, if we really hit her. Audio. that's about where she ought to be. Which ain't too shabby for one transistor modulator. Audio. I like it. I like it a lot. So, I just need to get this thing Monday. This guy right here to get a little less resistance in there, because it's cutting the power getting to this transistor will take a lot more than what that little 2290 did that was in there. So we'll get that guy swapped out. I need to clean up and get my wire. Got to get another wire, piece of wire put on there and run that out and everything. Just clean it all up. I've just been monkeying with it to get the values right and stuff like that on it. But it's gonna be a good little box. So yeah. All right, man. Just wanted to give you an update, and we'll talk to you later.